What's up everyone, I'm Callum on Toast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing the top 10 spiciest battles that were submitted to me from the recent Go Battle Day in the Open Ultra League. You guys know the drill by now. I'll be uploading 2 polls here on the channel. The first one tonight will contain the first 5 teams featured in today's video. The one tomorrow night will contain the remaining 5 teams. You'll vote for your favourite in each poll, and the winners will go through to a final poll where we'll be able to crown a new champion of spice for the Open Ultra League. And with that being said, let's get into the question of the day. What is the spiciest Pokemon you've ever come up against in the Open Ultra League? Let me know in the comment section below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle here, we lead Dragonite into Talonflame. You can see we're running a triple dragon pseudo-legendary-ish team, I think. Haxorus technically isn't a pseudo-legendary, but it pretty much is. So let's just see how we get on here. We have a perfect lead, and then they swap into a Trevenant, and you guys have probably seen on YouTube that the Guzzlord, perfect response to Trevenant, but so is Hydreigon there. We get to the Brutal Swing before they can get to a charge move. We take out the Trevenant, they're going to come back in with the Talonflame, and we get to another Brutal Swing before this Talonflame can reach another Brave Bird. And we get the final shield from the opponent. The opponent goes for one more Incinerate. They have barely any health remaining. Good play by the opponent, except they go for a Flame Charge for no reason whatsoever. And they've got a Giratina in the back. This is looking to be a good game already. And actually, yeah, the opponent realizes there's not a lot they can do, and they concede the match. So GG's to that opponent. They're a very nice team. Into the next game, we've got an XL Whiscash in the lead, and we've got double fossil Pokemon with Aurorus and the Tyrantrum here. We're going for a Thunderbolt up against the Walrein. That does super effective damage. They farm up a ton of energy before swapping into a Swampert, and we still had a little bit of residual energy here, so we get to the Weather Ball there. We're going to probably let the charge move go through. It is a Hydro Cannon, but it doesn't take us out. Aurorus, reasonably bulky here, and we go for another Weather Ball, and this will get the Swampert into the red health. That is pretty nice here, and we're actually able to get to another Weather Ball before this Swampert can farm us down, and we get a shield from the Swampert as well. We're actually going to swap out of this matchup, not letting us get farmed down. They go for a Hydro Cannon. We can tank it, and it looks like we will be able to tank one more and fully Mudshot farm down the Swampert here. And we are able to, we come out with a Mud Bomb. They come back in with the Walrein. They have a ton of energy loaded, and they actually go for an Earthquake, so that is massively overkill. I think, even though Whiscash is fairly bulky, a Icicle Spear probably would have taken them out there, but we're able to get to 2 Mud Bombs here, which is really nice. We land the second one. We're going to swap, try to catch the move on Aurorus, but we're not able to, which is really unfortunate because this Walrein is going to be a bit problematic here. We can shield once, but the Walrein has so much energy, they might even get to a second Icicle Spear. Instead, they swap out into Charizard, and I've just noticed we're running Charm on the Tyrantrum, so if we were running the Dragon Tail or Rock Throw, this would be so much better, but Charm is resisted by the Fire typing. Luckily for us, they're obviously not running Dragon Claw because they go for an Overheat, and they do get to another charge move here against the Tyrantrum. Icicle Spear takes us out, but we're able to Mudshot, farm down the Walrein, and take that game. So, pretty crazy team there. Into the next game, we lead with a Roserade into a Gardevoir. This is a good matchup, except we're running Bullet Seed, so we have very little fast move pressure, and even though Charms are resisted, they are absolutely chunking this Roserade's health here. We're now going for the Sludge Bomb for the kill, and they do double shield the Gardevoir like a lot of Charmers will do. They'll double shield. We're now able to get to a Weather Ball, but this is not going to be taking out the Gardevoir, but luckily for us, we have 2 Fire types in the back. They're going to swap into a Honchkrow, so very spicy team from the opponent's end as well. They go for a Sky Attack here. We're only running a single moved Magmortar here, and unfortunately it's a CMP tie, so we're going to shield up the Sky Attack again, and then undercharge this fully. That is the right play. We will be able to get a little bit of farm on this Honchkrow here, but the Gardevoir is probably going to outpace us to a charge move. And they do come back in with the Gardevoir, go for the move straight away, and it is a Dazzling Gleam. It's resisted, but it still does huge damage. They're able to Charm, farm us down. We come in with the Chandelure, and things are now looking really good because they've got a Venusaur. We go for the Shadow Ball for some reason, but Shadow Ball does huge damage. No one charge move is going to take us out from this range from a Venusaur, so we should be able to Incinerate, farm down the Venusaur, and take that game. Into next game, we got a very interesting team. We've got Gengar, Darkrai, and Yveltal here, so we're going to swap into the Darkrai. They come in with a Galarian Stunfisk. we're going to call the bait here. I'm actually not sure that was enough for an Earthquake. It's kind of hard to count here when the battles are sped up, but we're going straight for the Focus Blast. No baiting here. Focus Blast goes unshielded, and we one-shot the Galarian Stunfisk, and we take back switch advantage. We're going to go for a Dark Pulse here, and we get a shield from the Talonflame as well, but this Talonflame has got a lot of energy now, so that is a bit scary. We don't really have any bulky Pokemon on our team, and we're going to come in with the Gengar, and we're actually going to no-shield the Flame Charge. Very brave there. They're able to get to another Flame Charge here, so I think that was the right call because this Flame Charge would have done more damage. We're now going to swap straight away into the Yveltal here, and we're able to get to a Dark Pulse before they get to the next charge move. We get the final shield from the Talonflame. They throw straight away, so we get an extra Snarl through, and that will now allow us to just barely get to the final charge move here, one turn before their next Flame Charge. Dark Pulse takes out the Talonflame. They've got a Trevenant in the back. Dark Pulse going to be doing massive damage here. The Trevenant could have gone for a Seed Bomb, but that might not have taken us out, and they're going to go for a Shadow Claw farm down, but we're able to Snarl farm them down first and take that game. Into the next game, we lead Attack Form Deoxys into a Bullet Punch Hariyama, so the spice all round here so far. We're going to swap into Clefable. It's a double charm team, which is not the most appealing here, but I don't know, the Attack Deoxys certainly makes up for that. They're going to come in with a Hex Gengar, so kind of fortunate they're not running Shadow Claw because they would have been able to just fully farm us down here, and they actually go and commit to the Shadow Ball here as well. It looks like they're only running Shadow Ball because they're not able to get to another charge move here. We're able to Charm farm down the Gengar, Charm farm down the Hariyama, and they've got a Waterfall Milotic here, so we're going to shield up this Surf here, and it looks like we're just going to go for a full Charm farm down, so yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I did pick this team for the Attack Form Deoxys. It is going to get the final blow up against the Milotic though, so GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we're leading Honchkrow into a Leafeon, so pretty good lead. They're going to swap into Charizard. We don't really have a great response here, so we're going to go for a Dark Pulse and then probably swap into the Chandelure. We go for the Dark Pulse there, and we do swap into the Chandelure here, and we should be able to tank anything here from the Charizard, but they go for a Blast Burn. That does massive damage. We're going to go for the Shadow Ball. This will be taking out the Charizard or get the final shield, and we do take out the Charizard, so we maintain switch advantage, and we have a shield advantage now. We're probably going to come in with the Glaceon here just because, well, I don't think there's really any right or wrong decision here, but we're actually running Ice Shard on the Glaceon, so that's going to charge energy a little bit slower, but it does do more damage, which is nice up against a very bulky Pokemon like the Giratina here. They go for a Shadow Sneak first and then a Dragon Claw, realizing Dragon Claw is going to be better. They both deal the same amount of damage, but the Shadow Sneak does of course cost more energy. They're going to come in with Leafeon, Bullet Seed, farm us down, and even though this is a favourable matchup in terms of typing, these Leaf Blades are going to do massive damage up against Honchkrow. Honchkrow is a very glassy Pokemon. We're going to shield the next Leaf Blade, and hopefully we can get to 2 charge moves before they get to another Leaf Blade here. We're going for the Dark Pulse here. Obviously the Brave Bird is super effective damage, but Dark Pulse from Honchkrow probably going to be enough to take out the Leafeon, and it is enough, and we're able to take that game. So into the next game here, we lead a Hippowdon into a Stunfisk, and we're swapping into our Electric type as a safe swap. That is very strange here, but we are running Flamethrower, and Flamethrower does big damage, but unfortunately even a Wild Charge isn't going to take him out here, so I think this is a correct call, calling the bait or just letting the Electivire go down. Honestly, I'd have probably stayed in with the Hippowdon unless we're running Thunderfang, which would be very difficult, but yeah, we come in with the Roserade here, we get to a Weather Ball, we're able to take them out with the Weather Ball there before they get to a Rock Slide, which is nice. We're going to over farm here, go for a Leaf Storm probably after they go for a Poison Fang, and we're going for it here. If this goes unshielded, this will do huge damage, but it does get the shield from the Nidoqueen, which makes sense. They've still got 2 shields. Well, they did. We're going to swap into the Hippowdon now. We are running Ice Fang, but we are running Body Slam and Weather Ball Rock, so it is understandable why we didn't stay in. We couldn't hit for any damage up against the Stunfisk with the charge moves, so I guess that makes sense. We're going for the back-to-back charge moves here. If they shield the first one, we will be able to get to the second one here, and this will be taking out the Trevenant, and now it's just a case of can we get to another charge move up against this Nidoqueen here. They get to a charge move. Is it going to be the Earth Power? Yes, it is, but we do tank it. Hippowdon fairly bulky here. We get to the Body Slam. We're probably going to swap out into the Roserade here. Try to get to a Weather Ball, and we're able to get there. This is great. Is this enough to take them out? No, they barely hang on, but we can Bullet Seed, farm them down, and take that game. Into the next game, we've got Gengar in the lead once again, but we've got Darmanitan and Bewear in the back. They're going to swap into Empoleon, and this is a little bit tricky here. So we're going to farm up to a Shadow Ball, bait like we've got it, but we're going for a Shadow Punch. We get the shield from the Empoleon, which is nice, and now we're going to go for a Superpower on the CMP tie. The Empoleon probably not going to want to commit both shields, so we're able to take out the Empoleon there, and they come back in with Venusaur. They go for a CMP tie once again, and we do win CMP once again. Go for the payback. We have debuffed our attack, so it doesn't do as much damage, but that is still respectable damage from the Bewear. Now we're going to come in with the Darmanitan here. They come in with Dragonite, and we're actually going for an Overheat instead of the Rock Slide. Questionable decision there, and it goes unshielded, and that does huge damage, even resisted. I think the Rock Slide probably would have taken out the Dragonite, but that's fine. We're going to be able to Shadow Claw, farm them down, and now we're going for the Focus Blast here up against the Gengar, up against the Venusaur, sorry. So obviously we're just going for the BM on purpose, so I take that back. It wasn't a questionable decision, it was a funny BM, and we're going to be able to Incinerate, farm down the Venusaur, and take that game. Into the next game, we lead Avalugg into Defense Form Deoxys. This is a very tricky lead here. We're going to swap into Toucannon, but of course Deoxys can learn Rock Slide or Thunderbolt, so we're probably going to have to shield up in this matchup here. So we are going to commit a shield here. They go for a Psycho Boost, which is actually fine, and then they're going to swap into a Charm Sylveon here. So still not a very good matchup here. Toucannon, very glassy Pokemon, and its charge moves really just don't hit that hard, so unfortunately Drill Peck probably not going to get a shield here. Oh, it actually does get a shield, so maybe the opponent not really sure about what charge moves that Toucannon can learn, so that is great. Probably best case scenario here. We're going to come in with the Avalugg, wondering if we're just going to commit to a full Ice Fang farm down, maybe commit the final shield here, and that does look like that's what we're going to do. Wow, I know how to speak. And they're probably going to come back in with the Deoxys, but we've got Crunch, so this will do super effective damage up against the Deoxys, and they do let it go through, but honestly, that doesn't do an awful lot. Avalugg is reasonably bulky, Deoxys obviously very bulky, and Crunch was non-stab, so that is unfortunate. We're going to go for a Leaf Blade here up against the Deoxys. We get a shield, the final shield from the Deoxys, and we're able to get to another Leaf Blade here. And from this range, Leaf Blade actually takes out the Deoxys. They have a Jellicent in the back, so things are looking good. We're going to go for another Leaf Blade here, and that does huge damage. The opponent over farms and goes for a CMP tie. Massive mistake, because we get to another Leaf Blade, and Leaf Blade takes out the Jellicent, and we're able to destroy a very meta team here with a very spicy team. And into the final battle of this video, we're leading with a Porygon-Z. We're going to say swap into our Chandelure. We have two fire types. They actually come in with a Togekiss, so this is looking really good for the Chandelure. We go for the Flame Charge. That's going to boost our attack. Can we farm them down before they get to a charge move? Yes, we're able to, which is amazing. They're going to come in with Talonflame. We're going for the Poltergeist here. I've not seen it used yet. Poltergeist gets the shield. That probably would have taken out the Talonflame with the boosted attack. Massive hard-hitting move there. We're actually going to come in with the Pyroar here, and I think we're going to let the first move go through. It is just a Flame Charge, so a really good call there. Unfortunately, they're already at another charge move, and even though this is just going to be another Flame Charge, we kind of have to respect the damage at this point. We're going for a Crunch up against this Talonflame. We get a shield from the Talonflame here. All shields are now down. They're going to come in with the Alolan Sandslash. We're actually going to shield an Ice Punch here. Not sure I would have shielded in this scenario, but that is fine. We're going to go for the Zap Cannon here, and Zap Cannon one-shots the Sandslash here. They're going to come back in with the Talonflame, and we're able to get to a Tri-Attack here up against the Talonflame, and Tri-Attack is enough to take out the Talonflame and take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. Honestly, some of these battles were at a much lower rank than you typically see on the channel, but the quality of the gameplay is not what's important here. It's about trainers bringing the spice, and these trainers certainly delivered once again. I think it's a lot harder to bring spice in the Open Ultra League because typically we have a lot less Pokemon built. It's a lot more expensive to build Pokemon for the Ultra League, and you just typically see a lot less variety, so it's refreshing to see some of the teams that were brought in today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and if you did, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already, and more importantly, don't forget to vote in the polls that will be up tonight and tomorrow night. And with that being said, let's get into the shoutouts from my previous video. So firstly, we got Not Affiliated, who says Shadow Snorlax with Earthquake and Outrage, and this one stood out to me. I think this is one that I have to try in the future. That sounds so fun. Obviously going to be very frustrating if your opponents do shield, but surely no one's going to be expecting both Earthquake and Outrage on the same Snorlax, so definitely one I want to try in the future. Next, we got Chillis FM, a great content creator by the way, who says Surf Fetch with Fury Cutter and Double Nukes, Close Combat and Brave Bird. Maybe not the best, but always surprises people, and it is a ton of fun to run, and honestly that does sound like a lot of fun. I think I might also give that a try. And finally, we've got Gandalf, who says Hyper Beam on Obstagoon never disappoints. Honestly, you could have said Gunk Shot as well. Both of them going to do massive damage. Gunk Shot specifically up against those fairy types, but Hyper Beam is going to be hitting almost everything for huge damage. And yeah, since it's got Obstruct, since it's got Cross Chop, you're typically not going to see those nuke moves on Obstagoon, so it does make it very effective. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.